Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. If you are new here, I am a Psychic Bella Love, aka Bella Basso from psychicbellalove.com. You can book your own personal private reading with me. Use code BELLA20 for 20% off. Also check the description box for any links and also my November email specials that I am doing. So thank you so much once again to everybody who is coming back, who's been liking, subscribing, doing all of those things. I did want to say that there is going to be a giveaway at 300 subscribers, and what I'm going to do when I do my giveaways is I'm going to pair up with a small woman Black-owned business, and so I will give away some sort of reading as well as a product from them so that we can highlight and support the Black community. So that is definitely going to be coming once we hit 300 subscribers, and then again when we hit 500. So make sure you are subscribing. I really do appreciate it. You know, I have grown, in my opinion, a lot. You know, I've gotten up over 100 subscribers within a week, and this is big to me because I really just started focusing any attention or energy over here on my own YouTube channel. So I truly do appreciate it. And then if you guys wanted to follow me on Instagram, it is Psychic Bella Love over there. So I meant to do some of these videos yesterday when I was actually looking cute, but then I got stuck on a call with a client and I ran out of time before I had to start Tracy's show. And then if you guys watched, it ended up being extremely emotional, and by the time I got off the camera, I had mascara all over my face, and I washed it off, and I was like, I don't want to put it back on and film. So I ended up doing other things last night instead of recording, so here I am looking like a hot mess and doing it now. So you guys know, if you do follow me on Instagram, if anybody knows me, if anybody's watched my other videos, I love candles. Like, I've always loved candles. Surprise, you know, Psychic loves candles. But I love like scented candles too. You know, obviously I love my magical candles and I love the candles for certain purposes. But I also love the ambiance of like a nice candle, and I love making sure that my house smells good. Like, I'm obsessed with how things smell. This candle, I just went over to TJ Maxx because I was running low on my candle stash, and they always have good ones there, right? I got the Palo Santo. It's from Light Candle Company, and it says batch number 102. It was $19.99. This thing is huge. It's 34 ounces, but it's Palo Santo smell. So if you love the smell of that, oh my God, this candle, it smells so good. And my uncle like always smelled amazing, and his home, his office, he was a dentist, they always smelled like him. And this smell is exactly my uncle. So is the one, it's called, I believe, Focus and Patience from Chesapeake Bay Candles. That and this candle smell exactly alike, and you can't even find that one anymore. So amazing. I miss my uncle, so he was an amazing person. But anyways, guys, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at Donald Trump after the election, you know, this sort of in-between space while, of course, we know he's going to be fighting tooth and nail not to actually have to give control and power over to Biden and Harris, but also, like, what is his current state of mind? What do we have to look forward to until Inauguration Day? Like, what is coming in that sense? And then I'm also going to do a separate video on what is in store for everybody, like, in his family going forwards after he's no longer in charge of the country anymore, because I think that'll be very interesting to see. I mean, can Ivanka go back to selling shoes and crap at TJ Maxx, you know? Like, what is gonna happen for them there? So Spirit, we are asking you to join us today to take a look at Donald Trump and what we have in store between now and January 21st, which is Inauguration Day. Just give us anything that we as a country should know, that we as people maybe need to be prepared for. any good or bad. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us. We are not asking for any sort of malicious intent, but merely only to gain knowledge and curiosity and understanding. And in this case, to protect ourselves as well. Spirit, thank you for joining us. So, shuffle the other deck up because you guys know I like to pull from my 2 decks. And the reason why I do that as well is because my Rider-Waite Tarot is more about like the actions of things, whereas the Tarot of Dreams, I've sort of assigned it more to the emotional side, or the spiritual overview of a situation. So I know that's how I kind of do things, guys. Like with my different decks, I have that I sort of assign them all different purposes. I do have other decks. These are just the 2 that I always feel the most drawn to work with right now. But, you know, those things sort of change over time. And the weird thing for me, I will get a deck of cards sometimes and have it. And I'll be so psyched for that deck and everything. And then I'll have it for like 6 months, a year before I actually like really, really use it. I'll work with it, you know, to get to know it and be familiar with it. But like for me to actually like read for clients with it or get on camera and use it for whatever reason, I'll just like suddenly one day be like, it's time, we're connected enough, or you need me to pull you out. So you guys will see at some point me using other cards on this channel. And I'm feeling the need to go search for some new decks as well, and some actually oracle cards I got rid of when I moved, like probably 20-30 decks of cards, because they were all basically some sort of version of the Rider-Waite, and it just kind of felt like repetitive and I wasn't using all of them. So I decided I actually sent them over to a bunch of clients and people I knew that wanted to start practicing with cards, so that they were going to be put to some use since I wasn't using them. Because some of them that were in there, I used them like maybe once or twice and never picked them up again. So now I want to start adding back to the collection again, and we're pulling the cards and seeing what is coming around Trump over these next 3 months. You know, the first thing that I get, this Empress card, which I'm going to assume is Melania, and he's showing up as this King of Wands in reverse. And the reason why I'm making the assumption that it is Melania is because the 2 of Cups is in reverse. So there is something about either they already had this plan in place. Well, what Spirit's saying is they already had a plan in place before she even joined the White House, about how their marriage was going to end. Because if you've watched any of my readings that I've done on this, they were actually going to divorce anyways, and then he got pulled into running for president, and so obviously they couldn't, and they didn't think that he was actually going to win. So there is something about, and then she had to stay married to him. It's public knowledge that she did, before she moved into the White House, renegotiate her prenup. And if you saw, because she used the excuse of Barron and his schooling being the reason as to why she didn't immediately move to the White House, but he was out of school for a while before they moved. And you would think of a mother who was really so concerned about her child being able to adjust to, this new life, this new state, this new school, all of that stuff, that she would have wanted to have moved as soon as he was done with school so that he could start to. But when, they were talking about, they actually renegotiated the prenup, it is because I feel like, I'm not moving in there until I have myself protected and all of that. And so what Spirit's talking about is they had this plan in place before they even moved in of, as soon as, whether it was his first term or his second term was done, they were going to go ahead and separate. And I feel like right now it's more of talking about and planning on when is the appropriate time to do that. Obviously, as much as Melania would probably want to, with this 7 of Cups and this 5 of Swords, is get the hell away from him as soon as possible. It really, for the optics, won't look great with this 6 of Wands, because the High Priestess comes up around all of this of trying to decide when the best time to do that is, because obviously, you immediately move out of the White House and your wife leaves you, then you really look like the biggest fool on the earth, right? So they're talking about having to, find the perfect timing. And does that, and what Spirit's saying too, because we have this Ace of Cups, but it's in reverse. She wants to do it. It's like, it has to be within this first year. And he's trying not to agree on her with that. And then we have this 10 of Wands that they're going to be negotiating for quite a while on when that exactly is going to happen. Melania is going to be fighting him so much for things, though. This is what's so crazy, and he doesn't expect it. Like, he thinks that their breakup is going to be, like, very business-like and very amicable. Like, he doesn't think that she's going to be the Ivana, because if anybody, remembers back in the day when he left Ivana for Marla Maples, and that was how I even, found out who the hell Donald Trump was because I was a little kid when this happened. And I just remember, my parents, watching, Entertainment Tonight and, things being talked about on there. And then my mom discussing, with her friends and my aunts, about, oh, do you think Ivana is going to get anything? And I just knew, this is some rich guy and he, cheated on his wife. And now she's mad and she wants money. Because I was, 9, 10 years old or something. So, basically, he's not expecting that she's gonna do an Ivana. He thinks that it's well, we have all these contracts, we previously agreed to all this stuff, we're gonna already do all of these things because it's been fleshed out, but now Melania wants more, and so she's not gonna, she's not backing down with it. He's completely blindsided with this, but with the 7 of Wands and this 5 of Swords, it's fighting through negotiating and her not backing down and him having no idea that she was going to actually act that way. And Spirit's saying with her, this is the reason why she's now asking for more. She's scared, number one, of her safety. So she feels like she's going to have to provide more security for her and Baron. And her family, because of the things that obviously him creating so many enemies when he was in the White House, both foreign and domestic. Also, she feels like the direction that him and the rest of his family and his businesses are going to be going in after he leaves, I think that you're going to lose a bunch of money. So while you have it, I'm going to get my share, because even if there's something of you have to pay me $25,000 a month in alimony, for example, you could completely lose everything and you're not going to have that to give me, and then I'm screwed. So I want what I can get out of you right now up front. I don't want any of these long-term payments. I want it all up front, guaranteed, in some sort of trust. If it still has to come to me in a monthly payment, it needs to be in a trust that you have no access to and I don't have access to, and there's an automatic payment deposited into my account every month from that, but you can't, it can't be affected by anything else that you have going on. So, because we have this 3 of Wands, this 5 of Coins, and this 7 of Coins. So it is about, I don't think that you're going to have the ability to work and make money, and you're only going to be losing money. So I need to get what I can out of you. As far as the outcome of how their divorce is going to go, he's going to think that she has no basis in this, but Melania is a lot stronger. He knows that Melania has a lot more backbone than people give her credit for, but he's going to discover that Melania has even more of a backbone than he's ever seen. And he is with this Fool card and then the 9 of Swords. Like, who the hell are you? Like, I spent so much time married to you. I thought I would have known who you are by now. Who are you? I don't get where all of this determination and stubbornness is coming from and this urge to fight me. But his final outcome is this World card in reversed. So Melania is going to get what she wants out of this situation. She feels like she is owed it. But the other thing is too, guys, like, just to keep in mind, and because nobody's all bad. So there is like this good part of Melania that is looking at it as I think the human good part of Melania comes out as far as her parenting towards her son, because she's very protective of him, very involved in his life, and very much trying to make sure that he's, you know, living a certain way to certain standards and things like that. She's definitely mama bear with him, and that's where she's putting this on. And it's not so much like, because Spirit's saying like Melania, like, to be honest with you, especially with the contacts that they've made over the years and the things that have gone on, like, to her, she's like, I can go marry some Saudi Arabian prince. I can go marry some, like, you know, nefarious oil tycoon and be taken care of financially myself. It's not that, because it's kind of like, I already married some old rich man with money before I can do it again. I already know I'm capable of that. But in her head, it's more of, I'm fighting to protect and provide for my family. And Spirit keeps talking about her really being very, like, concerned about being able to take care of her parents as well. So I don't know if they simply, you know, like, were depending on Trump for money, like her parents were, and she's concerned that, you know, like, now he's not going to be able to provide for them any longer with a divorce and with everything that's happening or whatever. But again, it's just something about this, you know, having to protect her parents as well financially, not just her son. So the other thing that is coming up, you guys, don't be surprised if either as they're leaving the White House or right directly after, we don't see Mike Pence start being more public than he ever has. You know, I mentioned this a few times on Tracy's show and in other things. I watched, like, when I was watching the debates, I was watching them, you know, live on YouTube, and so many of the comments afterwards were from people being like, I didn't even know what his voice sounded like, you know, because he has really been so behind the scenes, and during this presidency, it's like he gets trotted out to stand on stage here and there, but that's about it. Like, but as far as like him actually really doing anything, like, the first thing that I can even think of or remember that anybody said he was heading or in charge of was this COVID task team, which now are we really freaking surprised at how horribly things have gone? And even at that, I didn't even know that he was in charge of this until literally like a month ago. So, and I pay attention to the news. I read the news every morning when I'm making my coffee and stuff. So that's why I'm just like, what? But the other thing, you know, that is coming up in this with Mike Pence is he's actually trying to start positioning himself as this King of Cups, which is crossed with this devil energy, and then this Page of Wands, so it is manipulative. He's going to try and start positioning himself more as a political leader. Like, there's some dumbass part of him that somehow thinks, like, if either it's like, well, if I wanted to run for president in 2024, if Donald can't, you know, and he thinks that he would like somehow like the way that the way that Trump feels that Joe Biden did this as some sort of reparation to Obama. Like, I'm vindicating Obama and Hillary by winning this election because they're my friends and you like messed with them. Pence's like idea of him running for president someday is that, you know, I'm doing this for my friend Donald because you guys stole that election from him and we're gonna get it back for the Republicans and I'm the guy to do it. Well, this is the thing, Pence. You know, the difference between you and Biden is huge. Biden was very well liked as a vice president. You were just an afterthought that nobody really considered until they shoved you on a stage, and then we all just were wondering when you were going to come out of the closet, right? Excuse my language. I apologize for that. So anyways, I just always feel like Pence wears flowered granny panties under all of his outfits from Walmart too, like the cotton ones that the high waist that your grandmas wear. I don't know why I can't ever get that image out of my head. I always think that that's what he's wearing underneath those ugly ass suits that he wears. So, but he is going to try to like put himself and position himself onto the world stage more. Because it's like, well, even if I don't end up becoming president, I could make some sort of a difference, you know, in the country. And the weird thing that keeps coming up too is, I mean, I know Billy Graham has sort of been all over the place or whatever. Maybe he teams up with him in some way or other. I don't know what it is, but I keep seeing Mike Pence standing on the stage of like one of those mega churches, you know, like the Joel Osteen one, for example, because that's exactly the one that it keeps showing me. And him standing on a stage like that, talking to this big crowd about, and like mixing in all these like Christian ideals in with this political message and trying to almost be like this weird political preacher to people. Us Christians don't believe in abortion. We need to fight this, and you need to go like, you know, petition that the Supreme Court doesn't rule on this or rules in this favor or whatever, like that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of trying to rally people and be this leader and affect changes, even though he's no longer involved in the, you know, in the government, but it's like from an outside perspective trying to influence it. And again, it is with this Ace of Pentacles and this Ace of Cups and the Magician card. It is all about trying to get on this world stage, bring attention to himself, and make himself seem like this big, knowledgeable, influential person. And the thing is, you know, it is all very manipulative because the Magician card, the Devil card, the Page of Wands, those are all cards of being deceitful, being manipulative, having, you know, nefarious ideas and stuff, and not focusing on what truly is supposed to, you know, be, or not that. It's more, sorry, it's not being truthful and honest. So there is that. But the Chariot's in reverse, like, it's not going to go anywhere for him. And honestly, people, the way that people receive it, it's this Knight of Swords energy. Like, he's definitely going to get, like, the shit. Like, I mean, if we thought it was bad, like, when we were talking about The Fly, it's going to get even worse. Like, as far as the amount of jokes and people being like, look at this doo-doo head, and what the heck does he think he's doing? And yeah, again, with the Five of Wands, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just like, you're just standing on a stage fighting, dude. Like, we don't need any TED Talks from fucking Mike Pence. Excuse my language. I am trying not to curse as much, you guys. I am so sorry. But see, this is what's funny. It's like, once this Judgment card happens and the Sun, where all these things come out, and I'm feeling like, you know, of course, it's like once all these lawsuits start hitting and people start launching investigations into Trump, and he's dealing with so many issues both on a personal and a federal governmental level as far as legal stuff, Pence gets dragged into this with this Ten of Wands, and his outcome is a Ten of Swords. So he's definitely getting taken down in the process. There's going to be a lot of shit that is going to come out about him, and he's going to have his own investigations and things to deal with as well. So it's like, yeah, you know, because we have the Moon card. So much stuff is going to come out. The dark is coming to light, Pence, and you are a part of that. And it's, you know, it's like, well, congratulations, you made a fool of yourself for a while there, and that was funny to make fun of you for it. Now we're gonna make fun of you because you're going to jail too, buddy. You know, that kind of thing. Also, there is this Empress card that comes up that she's also a big part of exposing things. And Spirit's showing that as somebody who actually worked in the White House, and it has come out, you guys, that there was a lot of people who were a part of Trump's cabinet or a part of the White House that basically let him sabotage himself a lot because they did not, after working with him, believe in him, and they didn't want him to win this election. So they let him hang himself out to dry, where it's like, you know, if he's like, should I get on Twitter and tell everybody that I'm going to, you know, leave the country and never come back? And they're like, you should totally do that. You know what? That's going to make everybody vote for you because nobody wants you to leave America. And then, like, they turn around and they're like, go do it. Let's let everybody see what a fool you are. How many? And they're, like, literally sitting there like, okay, you know, is that tweet going to make him lose 3 electoral college votes or 4? It's that kind of stuff was going on. And so this woman is actually working with another woman who is a reporter who's going to be one of the big, like, main sources that everybody's going to look to once all these, like, trials and legal situations start happening, the investigations start popping off and everything. And I'm not talking about the election investigations. I'm talking about after Trump leaves office and has all these legal issues going on. This woman is going to be like the main reporter that's always breaking stories and stuff. And her biggest source is going to be this female that worked on Mike Pence's team. She was probably like an assistant or something. She had a lot of access to things. She heard a lot of stuff. She's saved a lot of proof. And so she's going to be feeding all this information to this reporter, and they're the ones that are going to be really part of, you know, like, exposing Mike Pence and the things that he had to do with a lot of the stuff that Trump is going to be investigated about. So, Spirit, will Trump willingly leave the White House? Let's ask that, because that is a big question. It's huge in my Trump voice. And comment, shout out to Tamisha. Thank you so much for all of the support and love, both on my channel and on Tracy's. And she's just been so sweet and supportive of all of us. So she is incredible. You guys know I shout out the people who comment most, and I'm going to continue to do that in my videos. So if you have been commenting and you have not heard your name yet, keep watching, because I've been doing a lot of videos and I'm going to keep doing a lot of videos. And so we will get to you. Okay, so his current energy, you guys, first of all, he really did think he was going to win this election with the 6 of Wands right up until the last week or two. And then he started getting nervous, but then we all know the result, you know, this Death card. With the 3 of Wands and this Page of Pentacles, he actually does still, like, have, he really, I mean, obviously it's a false hope and it's probably like self-delusion and convincing yourself of things, but he still does think that there is a way that they can sway things for him to be victorious with this 4 of Wands. So it's like, I'm not even gonna think about leaving the White House, or the fact that I have to concede, or that I have to do anything, you know, that you guys are saying I'm gonna have to do. Like, bullshit. Like, we're gonna do it when I want to. But he, again, like I said, he still thinks that there is some way, somehow, that he's going to win this. And it's like, with this Page of Pentacles too, like, there's something we're gonna find. like code B, section A, paragraph 3, sentence 4 is going to say this or that thing. And he really does have people combing through every sort of legal paper, book, constitution, amendment, whatever they can to try to find this little nugget that he thinks is going to be the key to him getting his victory. However, the Seven of Pentacles comes up, so it's like, you really going to? Not really, because I mean, then we have this Temperance card and this Four of Cups, so it's like, after things you see, people start really telling you, Donald, this isn't going to work, like, we have to just go ahead and let this go now. He's still refusing. I mean, it's so funny. Here's this Queen of Swords causing this Eight of Swords moment for him. Honestly, it's so funny. I mean, because Nancy Pelosi, I always say, she is the Queen of Swords energy when it comes to getting shit done, and especially anything to do with the Republicans or Donald Trump. And I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't show up knocking on the door, you know, with a moving van out front and like a bunch of boxes under her arm, like, let's go. I brought 50 moving people with me. And she's just like, you go upstairs, start packing up the bedroom. You go empty Melania's closet. But in this sense, I honestly feel like it's Melania that's pushing him. I think that she's the one that's going to come up as this Queen of Swords energy. And it's like, we're done. I'm leaving. And if you don't come with me, you're going to look even worse. And it's like, she has to be the mommy. Like, get up. We're leaving. We're not staying in this store anymore. You know, like the kid that's having the temper tantrum doesn't want to get up out of the toy aisle. And mom's like, we have to go home and make dinner. Get your little butt up before I beat you. That's what, like, the energy that I am getting there. And it's because she is so over this shit by the time that it all goes down. And it's just like, come on. Like, I want to leave this marriage. I want to start my new life. I don't want to get killed because of you. Like, can we get out of this house, please? Because I'm trying to escape. And with the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Wands and then this World card, he's going to have to. And his result is the Nine of Swords. So he's going to walk out extremely upset and depressed. And again, you guys, this isn't even in the cards. This is just my prediction that I've been seeing as a vision. I keep getting, you know, the way that we all see that, and it's always televised, you know, the husband and the wife, you know, the former president and first lady, they always have their big meeting as they're doing the exchange of we're moving out and you're moving in, and the girls go have tea and the guys go in the Oval Office and have a chat. That is not gonna happen whatsoever. Like, I would not be surprised if the White House ain't empty for a week or two before Joe Biden moves in and Trump's back in, you know, Trump Towers. And everybody's gonna be like, wait, where did he go? You know, like, where's this? And the day that Joe Biden's like moving in, Trump's like sitting there on Twitter being like, I just came into the office and signed a $5 billion deal or blah, 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 you know, trying to take the attention away from Joe Biden and show like, look, I went back to my normal life. F you, you know, I'm going to be amazing over here. It's going to be bigly successful in my office, which we know he ain't going to be. But that is what I keep getting as far as to, you know, how that whole exchange is going to go off. I don't feel like we're going to see the way that it has gone in the past. Spirit, please tell me just anything else you want us to know about this. And then I'm going to cut it off after this, and I'll do a part 2 as to, like, what are the things that he's actually going to do, you know, coming up, like, as far as, like, is he going to sign a bunch of bills into law? Is he going to use his executive power to pardon a bunch of people? What is coming with that? It's just this one's already starting to get really long, and I don't, you guys know, I just film straight through. I don't edit. I want you guys to see me mess up. I want you to see the real so that you know that it is directly coming from spirit. So I don't want to, you know, especially since I've been having issues with getting YouTube to upload within a decent amount of time and not take 15 hours to upload a 30-minute video. I gotta keep it on the shorter end. Once I get more like subscribers, guys, I'll do these on live. I just like don't feel comfortable getting on live if there's gonna be like one person in the chat, because I like having people to bounce off of and be able in real time to talk back and forth and stuff. And otherwise you just kind of feel like that kid who's nobody came to your birthday party. So, see what else they want us to know. I was kind of surprised, but then again, I wasn't, that the first thing that pops up is them getting, you know, their divorce and stuff, because I just always got, nobody wants him to lose this election more than Melania. She's so over it. And you know, the thing is too, even if she wasn't planning on leaving him, I just get her not wanting to be, like, she hates being in the White House. She hates this. She hates the speculation, the attention on her constantly, the expectation that she's supposed to be doing certain things or whatever, because Melania would just prefer to kind of just be like, I'm just the pretty mom. Like, I just want to like be a housewife and a mom and be dressed up and stuff and be glamorous, but I don't want to be out here in these streets, like out in front of people and talking to people and having meetings and doing all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just not interesting to her, really. That's what it comes down to. It's not because, like, she's just not interested enough to care. So, Trump is coming up as this King of Pentacles in reverse. So, he's walking out of the White House not as financially secure as he was going into it. And it's not just about the fact that, you know, like, because, I mean, he had all his businesses supposedly set up that his kids could just oversee them or whatever, the ones that didn't go to the White House with him. So it's like, you should have, if you were like continuously making money the way that you were before, like that should have continued. You know, like, yeah, you probably wouldn't have had like these big new opportunities because you were busy being president, and a lot of the stuff that would come that way would be tied to having to have your involvement. But your already withstanding investments and business deals should be able to still continue in a good way. They were not. So whoever like was the kid, because I know he has what, 5 or 6 kids, and they all look like they belong on the Twilight movies. To me, they all have this very vampire-y look to them. But whichever one, I believe it's Eric that is in charge of the, you know, the businesses and everything. It's like, he comes up as the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. Like, he wasn't really doing anything. He wasn't the go-getter. He was, like, kind of just like, well, my dad did all this stuff. So he just sat back and watched. And there's something about he didn't do a lot of things that he should have, or in the way that he should have, or whatever. So Trump's going home to not having as much money as he thinks that he had. He didn't really have as much money as he portrayed anyways. We all know that. But on top of it, he also just didn't make anything while he was in the office. And, you know, supposedly he was donating his salary, which a $400,000 salary isn't a whole lot to most people anyways, you know, in after a certain like tax bracket. So it's like, yeah, like that wasn't gonna, there's no way that him and Melania could have lived off a $400,000 salary a year anyways, you know, with their life. But like, Spirit keeps talking about like he had so much money with this Ace of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles and this 10 of Wands. He has so much money because then right behind it is the Hangman, tied up into like investments and things like that. So he doesn't have any liquid assets the way that we would assume that he does. And because of that, it's like they've lost money between the pandemic, between him losing presidency, between everything that's been going on. It's like whatever it is, it's lost money. So he can't even like come out of the White House and go dump those stocks or whatever they are to like recoup any money. That it's not there. It's lost. It's lost. That's what I keep hearing. Like it's gone. Yeah, because like the Three of Pentacles, looking over your finances, like, oh my God, like what can I do to fix this? And then we have this Four of Wands in reverse. So looking and seeing that whatever you thought you had is no longer there and being kind of desolate about it. Also, again, you know, here he comes as this Emperor followed by the Justice card. So he does have a lot of legal issues coming his way. And Spirit's actually talking about these are going to start happening before he even leaves office. So really, you guys, I feel like he's going to start getting hit with lawsuits next month. They might, and I keep hearing fraud and like failure to pay. So I think that there are lawsuits against his business. So because then he comes up as this King of Wands behind it, having to deal with that as he's walking away with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so as he's leaving office, his whole focus, and leaving office meaning over these next couple months, you know, not as just as he actually like does officially leave, but as these next couple months as he's preparing for the next chapter in this transition, his focus is already being pulled towards his personal real life outside of the office and trying to fix, maintain, and rebuild what he's been ignoring and too busy to deal with, and having to basically come in and yeah, because there's this Six of Pentacles and this Seven of Cups, having to come in and clean things up and being lost as to how it happened and how I fix it is what Spirit is saying. With this Lovers card and then this Two of Cups in reverse, he's not going to be able to find anybody to partner up to work with him anymore, you guys. It's like all these people that he thought, oh, you know, like when I leave, whether that's in 4 or 8 years, I'm going to go talk to, you know, blah, 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 so-and-so, and we'll work together and we can make a whole bunch of money now that I have all these other connections and all this stuff's happened when I was in office. And they're like, we're not touching you with a 10-foot pole, dude. So he's going to find himself pretty alone with this Temperance card. Things are seemingly not moving as quickly as he wants to right now, but you kind of don't want them to because this Queen of Swords is going to get you on. So we will come back and finish on another video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I will be doing giveaways at 300 subscribers and then again at 500. So make sure that you subscribe so that you are eligible to enter that. You can follow me on Instagram, Psychic Bella Love, and my website is psychicbellalove.com. Use code BELLA20 for 20% off your first reading with me. Thanks, guys.